Good job, you guys. Thank you for being so patient. So today, just let's get going, Jillian, and I'll answer your questions in a few minutes, okay? All right, so Belize. This is the map of Belize. So this is Belize. There's Belize City. And here's some other cities, Crooked Tree, Orange Walk, and see how it's all on water? So it borders water there. And there's the Maya Mountains. San Ignacio is a very famous city that a lot of people go to. Belmopan. So what do you think the star means? Does anyone know what that star means? Jillian, do you know why there's a star by that city?
No.
Does anybody have a guess? Yes, Justin.
It's the capital.
Yes. Usually, Jillian and everybody else, when you see a star next to a city, that is the capital. Okay? So, did you know that Belize is the only country in Central America where the official language is English? You would think they speak Spanish, but they speak English. That is their official language. They do also speak Spanish, Mayan, and Garifuna, and Creole. So, but English is their official language. Yes, Jillian?
You know, like Belize sounds like Belize?
Yeah, it does. There you go.
Like most of the words mixed together.
Please and Belize rhyme. It also has the second largest barrier reef in the world. Okay, the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef System is also known as the Great Mayan Reef. Okay, girls, face forward, please. The first is the Great Barrier Reef in Queensland, Australia. The Great Mayan Reef is like the Great Barrier Reef and is in danger of disappearing because of tourism, as people coming to visit, overfishing, and global warming. Then they also have a wildlife sanctuary that we're going to talk about called the Coxcomb Wildlife Sanctuary. It's the world's first jaguar reserve, can't say it. And it also has waterfalls in there, and it has jaguars, so that's pretty cool. They have 900 Mayan temples. And has anybody ever heard of Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of England? Have you heard of her?
Yeah.
She is also the Queen of Belize.
No.
Yep, so they actually call her the Queen of Belize. Her official title is Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen of Belize, and of her other realms and territories, head of the Commonwealth. That is a lot to say. I think Queen Elizabeth is easier to say than all that. So they have been independent since 1981, but they hold on to certain aspects of being a part of the British colonies. So they used to be a British colony. Now they're independent, but they still hold on to honoring Queen Elizabeth as their queen and their ruler. Okay? And instead of street lights to direct traffic, they have speed bumps. So could you imagine driving around with no traffic lights?
No.
That'd be crazy. Yes, Anna?
When you were turning to there, they two were talking.
Okay, I can take care of it. Thank you. All right, guys, I can take care of it. I might not catch everything, but we'll take care of it. Thank you, Anna. Yes, Jillian?
I cannot imagine that.
Yeah, so they don't have any traffic lights. So you know how we have you pull up to the traffic lights? They don't have that. They just have speed bumps. And street lights are not needed because there are not as many cars. They actually call them sleeping policemen, the speed bumps. Isn't that funny? Because they just don't have a lot of cars there. People walk or ride their bikes, so you don't do that. Okay, so the flag of Belize. This is the flag of Belize. It's red, white, and blue, and it has the coat of arms in the middle. The coat of arms embodies an important aspect of the history of Belize is the mahogany industry. The mahogany is a type of wood. Mahogany industry formed the basis of our economy in the 18th and 19th centuries. The red, white, and blue flag of Belize is a symbol of the unity of our nation. The national motto, Sub Umbra Floreo. These Latin words mean under the shade I flourish. Okay, these are some of the national symbols. This flower, here's a national flower. It's called the black orchid. It is a national flower, and it grows on trees in damp areas and flowers nearly all year round. The keel-billed toucan is the national bird of Belize. It is noted for its great canoe-shaped bill. Look at that.
Wow.
And it's brightly colored green, blue, red, and orange feathers. And this is an animal over here. I don't know if you can really see him, but the PowerPoint also will be up on Haiku. Kind of, but you can't really, I don't know if you can see him here. He has a longer snout, and he is called a tapir. He's the tapir, or a mountain cow. It is the largest land mammal of the American tropics. The tapir is a stoutly built animal with short legs about the size of a donkey and weighs up to 600 pounds. Yes, Juliana?
What are speed bumps?
Okay, so speed bumps are, I don't know if you know, when you're driving along, they build up up the cement or the road so that if you go too fast, it'll actually hurt your car. It can hurt your tires or whatever, so you have to slow down and go up over it. And it's called a speed bump. Yes, Evelyn?
That bird kind of looks like a parrot.
Yeah, it does, except for the bill is different, right? But it is very colorful, like a parrot. Yes, Jillian?
So are we gonna like draw on the flag today?
Nope, you're gonna take that home for homework. Okay, I'll tell you what we're gonna do and when it's time, okay? Let's focus on what we're learning about Belize right now. Belize was first settled by the Mayans. The Mayans are an indigenous people of Mexico and Central America, and I'm gonna tell you, you'll hear a lot about them in the next few weeks because they were in Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and other areas that the Mayans settled. So it's not just in Belize. The Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, is the ruler of Belize, right? And I already told you they call her Queen Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen of Belize and her other realms and territories, head of the Commonwealth. And they have, the religion there is mostly Roman Catholic, and it is practiced by 40% of the people. Pentecostalism emerged as the second largest practiced religion. And they are largely Mayan people, Garifuna, Mestizo, Creole, and Mennonites. So these are what's called their ethnicities. They're the different cultures that are present within the country of Belize. The climate is a tropical climate. Do you know what a tropical climate is? What do you think?
A beach.
Yes, tropical climate is warm and sunny, and it doesn't rain very much. Now, sometimes you're going to have some rain. They do have rainforests there, because in tropical climates there's rain. But it's just pretty nice out all the time. It's pretty warm. Not like here. We do not have a tropical climate. Anna, please stop. Are you kicking? No, don't kick, please. Yes, Anna.
One time, when we went to Mexico, I was like 2 and my brother was like 4. We couldn't swim in the ocean because they were chopping down a rainforest in South America, I think.
Oh, that's a bummer. That is not fun.
Because there was too much.
Oh, whoops, I gotta go back really fast. I didn't do the population. There's too much what, honey?
There was like too much like grass and stuff floating in the water.
Got it. Let's see how do I go back. I don't know. I forgot the population. Is it on here? I didn't do it. Okay, well, we'll go back to the population in a few minutes. Places to see. So these are some of the places to see. I think it's pretty. One of the places to see is the great. Okay, Jillian, I gotta go on. Okay, what did you need to say?
I want to say I've learned about the ocean.
Oh, you have?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. And they do have a lot of ocean here. The first thing, though, this thing right here, this is called the Great Blue Hole. Doesn't it look like you'll fall down in it?
Mm-hmm.
But actually, the water just goes right over it.
Huh?
So people swim down in there, but you can just ride your boats right over it. So the Great Blue Hole is called a sinkhole. I don't know if you've ever seen in Michigan, sometimes our roads will do what's called a sinkhole, and they'll collapse in. But the Great Blue Hole is a huge submarine sinkhole. It is located near the center of the Lighthouse Reef, a small island 100 kilometers from the Belize city. The hole is circular in shape and is over 300 meters across and 125 meters deep. It is the world's largest natural formation of its kind. It is an integral part of the larger Barrier Reef Reserve System. There are over 500 rare forms of animal and plant life found in the Great Blue Hole of Belize. Here you would be able to meet several unique species of fish. I can't talk today. The midnight parrotfish, Caribbean reef shark, and other rare fish. And the whale shark, so that's a whale shark. There's a picture. So that's the top of it, and you'd be going down into it. There's a parrotfish. That's the midnight parrotfish right there. And this one, I'm not sure which fish this is. That's pretty cool looking. So see that this is the Great Blue Hole, and they can dive down in there. And you can go scuba diving in there. The Belize Zoo and Ho Chan Marine Reserve. The Belize Zoo was started in 1983 as a last-ditch effort to provide a home for a collection of wild animals which had been used in making documentary films about tropical forests. So documentary films are films, just a minute, honey, are films about real-life things that are going on, and they document them. And so they were looking at tropical forests and rainforests and the animals in them. And then they had all these animals who were displaced, so they needed someplace for them to go, so they started the Belize Zoo. Today, the Belize Zoo and Tropical Education Center exhibits over 200 animals, representing over 45 native species. The zoo keeps animals which are orphaned, rescued, born at the zoo, rehabilitated. Rehabilitated means if they were hurt in any way, they would bring them in and help them to heal. That's what rehabilitated animals are. Yes, Juliana, what can we do for you, sweetie?
There's a stingray.
Yeah, there's a stingray, yes. Exactly. Isn't that beautiful? And there's an eel up there. We'll get to those in a minute, but you're right. Yes, that's a beautiful
And parrots and a monkey.
Yeah. And the Belize Zoo let's see, they're orphaned, rescued, born at the zoo, rehabilitated animals are sent to Belize Zoo as donations from other zoological institutions. Only 4 miles south of San Pedro, or a bit further north from Kai Cocker, is the most popular dive site in the country, which is the Hol Chan Marine Reserve. Without doubt, the main attraction is the cut in the reef, whose Mayan name, Hol Chan, means little cut. It's a channel 30 feet deep with steep coral-lined walls. Fish seem to have got wise to the fact that fishing is prohibited here. Does anyone know what the word prohibited means? Yes, Jess, what does it mean?
That you can't do it.
Exactly. So if I say, I prohibit you from moving, it means you can't move. I wouldn't do that to you. But that's what prohibit means. It means you may not do it. So they're teasing. They feel it because there's so many fish there, they feel like the fish have realized people aren't allowed to go fishing there. So hidden in the coral crevices are moray eels, as well as fish. There are over 500 species of them. There are crustaceans from tiny red-banded coral shrimp to spiny lobsters. So these are the parrot and the monkey at the zoo, and then these are in the marine reserve. And there's more than that. Okay, now we've got Coxcomb Basin Wildlife Sanctuary and the Actun Tunsil Muknal Cave, ATM. I'm going to call it the ATM Cave because that's easier for Mrs. Watson to say. So, and the ATM Cave is not like the ATM machine where your mom gets money out. Not the same thing. The ATM Cave, which is this hard to say name, Actun Tunsil Muknal Cave. While ancient historical records are spotty, there's plenty of evidence that the ATM Cave has been a sacred site for the Mayan people practically since their origins. The Mayas first discovered the cave between 300 and 600 AD, but the dark and dangerous environment prevented them from venturing into its deepest realms for quite some time. Between 700 and 900 AD, the cave became an important spiritual site for the local peoples. Since what's now modern Belize was once one of the major hubs of the Maya Empire, that makes it one of the critical spiritual sites for one of the most prominent cultures in Mesoamerican history. While we may not have a full account of the importance of this cave to the Mayas, modern archaeologists, so archaeologists are people, scientists who dig up places and they examine it to see what they can learn about the people who live there, okay? So like they'll find pieces of pots or little pieces of different things, and by studying them, they can discover about the history of the place. Okay, so that's what an archaeologist is. They've been able to piece together a fascinating look at their habits and practices in a relatively short amount of time. Over 1,400 human artifacts have been discovered, all of them dating from 250 to 909 AD. The combination of pottery, tools, weapons, and vessels for water tell a tale of a broad and advanced society, and the scope of the discoveries make it one of the most worthwhile finds in archaeological history. So this is the cave. Isn't that beautiful? That's inside the cave. And they're in there right now looking. You can see they're looking in the cave right there. And that's another picture of some of the caverns in the cave. They're very beautiful caves. Now we've got Coxcomb. This unique sanctuary in southern Belize covers an area of 150 square miles of tropical forest. And it's the world's only jaguar preserve. There, I said it right. I can speak. So that's a jaguar. See him? All right. They're big. Yeah, they are big kitties, but they can be a little. They're not tame kitties. Yes.
It looks like a tiger, kind of.
Yes, they're all in the same family. Yes,
or
Juliana.
A cheetah. There's a waterfall.
Yeah, there's the waterfall. Yes, that's in the reserve. Isn't that beautiful? So it's 150 square miles of tropical forest. Declared a forest preserve in 1984 and finally a jaguar preserve in 1986. The park is the culmination of many years of work and perseverance by individuals and national and international organizations. The park area is rich in beauty, wildlife, and even Maya culture. A well-concealed minor Maya ceremonial site known as Chusil Balloon, I probably said it wrong, is typical of the classic period of the Coxcomb Mountain Range towers over the basin to the north. The highest mountain in Belize, Victoria Peak, is at 3,675 feet tall, presides over the range, and offers, in its largely unexplored reaches, chances for unrivaled exploration and adventure. So there's a huge mountain there too, the biggest one in Belize, and you can go climb it. They also have mahogany and cedar trees there too. So now, this is what people eat and drink in Belize. Belizean cuisine is an amalgamation of all ethnicities in the nation of Belize. and their respectively wide varieties of foods. Breakfast often consists of sides of bread, flour tortillas, or fry jacks that are often made and eaten with various cheeses. All are often accompanied with refried beans, cheeses, and various forms of eggs. Inclusive is also cereal along with milk, coffee, or tea. Midday meals vary from lighter foods such as rice and beans, tamales, panadas, which are fried meat pies. They're over there. And you have escabeche, which is onion soup, chamoli or chermol soup, stewed chicken, garnaches, I'm probably butchering these, fried tortillas with beans, cheese, and diced onion, sauce or diced cabbage, and then you also have, most dinners have some type of rice and beans, meat and salad or coleslaw. So this is creveche. Also, this has like guacamole in it and shrimp and crab and stuff. So Belizeans love spicy food. The hotter the better. Do you like spicy food?
No. I do.
Do you? Do you like spicy food?
No.
No? I don't really either. Mine can be a little spicy. If it's too spicy, I want it. Yes, Anna? You don't remember? If you remember, you can raise your hand again. And I know Juliana said, you do remember?
Why is there like spicy food?
You know what? It's part of their culture. They have a lot of different kinds of peppers, jalapenos, and hot peppers, and so they just like to incorporate it in their cooking, and they're used to it, so they like hot foods. Hang on, just 1 second. Did you need to say? I told you to wait, didn't I, Juliana? What did you have to say, sweetie?
I like spicy food a little.
A little bit, yeah. How about you, Evelyn?
My brother, he's 4, and you think he would like spicy stuff, but he always has like spicy peppers like on his pasta or pizza.
Ooh, so he likes peppers. I have some kids that like peppers too. So they have a lot of hot peppers, jalapenos, habaneros in most of their dishes. They will sell these delicious meat pies or tamales on the street, all with a uniquely Belizean flavor. And rice and beans are the staple food for all Belizeans. Some people eat this every day. So the recipe for Belizean rice and beans is on the website. And I'm actually going to make it tonight because it's going to be easy. You might as well just say it. What?
Are we almost done?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we at? About 20 minutes?
Oh, we're at 17.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, about 20 minutes. So yeah, so we're going to hold off any more comments because I'm going to finish up so we can do our craft, okay? All right, we're almost done. Okay, well-known people from Belize. Erilyn Wallen is a composer. There she is. She moved to London with her family when she was 2 years old. While her parents moved to New York, she and her 3 siblings, one of whom is the trumpeter Byron Wallen, were brought up by an aunt and uncle. Wallen's music draws on a wide ranges of influences, including avant-garde, classical music, as well as popular songwriting. Her work has been performed in leading concert halls and theaters around the world. Her first orchestral commission was a concerto for percussion and orchestra, written for percussionist Colin Curie, and premiered by him during the finals of the BBC Young Musician Competition in 1994. So she is the first Black female composer to receive a performance at that festival. Arliss Hedders is a physicist. He is the Dean of Academic Affairs, the Benjamin Powell Professor, and a Professor of Mathematics and Physics at Trinity College at Duke University. So he's Belizean, but he teaches here in the United States at Duke University. He's a Professor of Business Administration at Duke University's Fuqua School of Business. Dr. Peters is a multidimensional theoretician who was the first to develop the mathematical theory of gravitational lensing, which brought powerful methods from pure mathematics to bear on astronomy. Does anyone know what astronomy is? What is astronomy?
Stars.
Yeah, stars and planets. And so we were talking about that with Galileo, right? Mm-hmm. So he helped to bring more attention in pure mathematics to astronomy. He pioneered new applications of gravitational lensing in physics and affected the probe of nature of space-time around black holes and developing tests of gravitational theories. So he tested Einstein's theory of gravitation. Angela Gregg is an artist, author, TV